My Little Avengers by Koolerkid, Chapter 5. What do you mean you're not going? Pinky whined. She and Big Mac were in front of the kitchen in Sugarcube Corner, busily baking various pies. Applejack had been overjoyed to discover Big Mac had actually made a real friend, rather than another friendly acquaintance, so she hadn't complained about letting her big brother come help Pinky with his daily baking. It wasn't like there was a whole lot to do on the farm today, and Big Mac worked too hard as it was.
I just don't see why I should,
Big Mac said with a shrug as he rolled out some dough.
Skipping a few hours of work to visit you is one thing, but I'll have to miss a whole day to go to the princess's party. I can't do that to Applejack. Besides, how could I complain when I need to leave?
Pinky gave a snort of frustration. He pointed a flour-covered hoof to the newspaper. She lived on a nearby clean portion of the countertop. But, Mac! Look at the paper! Party in honor of Ponyville savior Thor. How can you have a party without the guest of honor?
Pinky, it's too risky.
Big Smack said, not looking at her. Pinky's puppy dog eyes could sway armies.
Besides, I don't even like fancy parties. The ones you throw are one thing, but from what AJ told me about the gala, I wouldn't last 5 seconds of one of them fancy celebrations.
Pinky was about to reply when the kitchen door burst open in a rainbow blur. It resulted in Rainbow Dash, looking rather excited and frantic. Pinky! She sighed before noticing Pinky had coming. Oh, hey, Big Mac. Pinky, have you seen Twilight anywhere? She's not in the library. I think she's at Rarity's, getting ready for the big party in Candlelight, Pinky chirped. Why? Something wrong, Dassy? Dash shook her head rapidly. No, I just need to get a ticket to that party. I figured if I asked Twilight, she could get one for the princess.
You don't need a ticket.
Big Mac spoke up, not looking up for the pie crust he was making.
The paper said everyone's invited. Y'all can just go.
Really? Awesome! Dash didn't manage to loop the loop in the air, grinning broadly. This is gonna be the coolest party ever! Pinky smiled at Dash. Happy, Dash was happy. Are the Wonderbolts gonna be there, Dassy? Huh? Dash paused her aero acrobatics for a moment. Oh yeah, them too. Almost forgot about them. Pinky and Big Mac glanced at each other in surprise. If you don't care about the Wonderbolts, Pinky said, the words sounding straight to her ears, then why do you want to go so bad? Isn't it obvious? Thor! Dash exclaimed with enthusiasm normally reserved solely for the Wonderbolts. He's like the coolest party ever! He totally saved my life, you know. Big Mac felt slightly disturbed about how pleased this seemed to make her. I never even got the chance to thank him. He must think I'm a wuss, the way that loser dead weight tossed me around. Next time I see him, I'm gonna show him what I'm really made of. Pinky cheered for her friend, but Big Mac frowned.
What if Thor does his show?
The farm boy slowly asked. Dash looked down like he was crazy. Of course he's going to show! It's his party! What kind of hero wouldn't show up to his own party? That'd be like the Wonderbolt skipping a show! Dash frowned. A real hero wouldn't insult his fans like that. Pinky grinned at Big Mac. Mac doubted she even had the capacity to be smug. But if she did, that grin would have been very, very, very smug.
I guess you're right, Dias.
Of course I'm right! Oh, I gotta go practice my tricks so I can show on the Thor. Later! Dash flew off from the room so fast, Beck barely had time to leave. See, Mac? Pinky said, you gotta go, or Dash will be sad, and so will every pony else who wants to meet you. You don't want to make every pony sad, do you?
Mac finally gave up. Oh, alright. Well, y'all gonna help me convince Applejack, alright? I can't lie to her.
Okay. As it happened, convincing Applejack was unnecessary. She and the rest of her friends, Twilight, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, and Fluttershy, were all going to the party together. Pinky was all too happy to join them, of course. With Applebloom and Sleebell spending the night at Skilloos's parents' house, it would be a simple matter to fly to Caroline unnoticed. With Thor's speed, he reached the castle in record time. Pinky was sad that she wouldn't get to go to the party with her newest friend, but Big Mac assured her he'd be fine. He made sure not to betray his own nervousness that he assured to Philly. Nevertheless, Pinky seemed to pick up on his nervousness, and baked him some chocolate chip cookies to help ease his tension. A week passed fairly lazily, and the day of the party arrived. Big Mac held Applejack into the dress he had made for her to help her avoid the embarrassment of asking Rarity for help. The elegant garment was similar to one Applejack had worn at the gala, but she had been unable to prevent Rarity from adding frills, ruffles, and other fancy additions until the outfit was almost too frou-frou for Applejack to even look at, much less wear. Rarity had insisted that a party celebrating the arrival of new royalty, for what could be an alicorn but a royal prince, was much fancier than that silly old gala. Thus, a much fancier dress was required. I'm sorry y'all can't come, Sugarcube. Applejack commented as he finally finished struggling with the complicated piece of clothing. Ugh, I don't know how highly y'all think of Thor, but some pony needs to look after the phone.
I don't know, Applejack,
Big Mac said, forcing himself to seem nonchalant and hoping his sister didn't pick up his nerves.
I really didn't want to go anyhow.
Technically true.
Probably gonna be awful boring, just like that galley y'all went with your friends.
Applejack chuckled. Gosh, I hope not. Well, hey, look, this party will end a lot more calmly. She touched herself in the nearby mirror. Well, looks like I'm all ready. I better go meet the girls. We're ready to carol up the gear. See y'all later, Sugar Cube! Big Mac gave her brother a hug before galloping out the house. Big Mac sighed, fetching Monier out of his hiding place in saddlebags.
Might be a bit sooner than you'll think, sis.
Why did you do that?
Do what?
Look at the camera!
I don't know, I just felt like this was tradition with superheroes, that whenever we talk about something related to our secret identity, we gotta wink at the camera near the end.
You're right, something about that does feel traditional. Big Mac's primary worry was formal attire, but it seemed Monier had that covered. Upon his transformation into Thor, the magic hammer seemed to sense Big Mac's desire for clothing, and showed off another of his many tricks. When the glow of his transformation faded, he was clothed in what his borrowed memories informed him was Thor's whole armor, a glorious silver breastplate with beautiful cape of red silk. The cape was dashing, though Big Mac thought it was too impractical for a fight. He liked the armor, though. He'd keep that. His memories also informed him of a matching hat, but Big Mac elected not to wear it. It looked ridiculous, and he wanted to make a good impression. Hey! Thor's armor helmet is awesome! Thor's godly speed carried him to Canterlot quickly, making the normally hours-long trip in 15 minutes. 20 at most. The armor was so light he barely felt it. The cape cut through the air with much less difficulty than he anticipated. He slowed as he approached the Canterlot castle, gliding in gently for a landing near the majestic building's gates. The guards led to attention his arrival and saluted furiously. Big Mac felt uncomfortable at the attention, but as Thor, he merely inclined his head in polite acknowledgement as he passed through the gates. The entrance hall was crowded, with ponies all chatting amicably, but the conversation died abruptly at his arrival. Every pony turned to gawk at the new arrival, and quiet whispers filled the room. Big Mac could only imagine what they were thinking. If it wasn't for the fact that he was Thor, Thor's arrival would throw him into confusion as well. Even so, the stares of every pony on him made him feel quite uncomfortable, and it took a great deal of willpower not to squirm. Forcing himself not to be hesitant, Thor stepped into the room, head held high. The princess stood at the head of the stairs at the back of the room. On her right stood her sister, Princess Luna, looking quite nervous as Celestia leaned over and whispered to her. Thor's godly senses were sharp, but even he couldn't hear what the princess said to her sister. I wonder what they thought to him. He's cute, isn't he? Celestia whispered to her sister. Luna blushed slightly. Princesses should not entertain such thoughts about their subjects. This princess does, Celestia retorted, and he's hardly a subject. He's an alicorn, like us. Still, it is unbecoming of a princess, or any lady, to admit such open admiration. Celestia chuckled. Oh, come on. You gotta think he's got a nice mind, too. I do not! Luna protested, her pulse growing more pronounced. I would never entertain such vulgar thoughts. Oh, really? Celestia teased. So, it's fine with you if I seduce him for myself? Don't you dare! Luna snapped, losing her composure for a moment. She recovered quickly. I mean, such behavior for a princess wouldn't be quite improper. Celestia grinned from ear for ear. Oh, come on, Lulu. At least admit he's cute. Luna blushed prominently and refused to look at her sister. He's handsome, I suppose. There you go, Celestia said cheerfully. There was a pause. Then, if I can't have him for myself, then maybe we could sit. No! Rather than make a free line for the princesses, Thor scanned the room for a particular pony. Her mane was impossible to miss, and he headed directly toward her.
Up by old Rainbow Dash!
Thor asked the Pegasus filly. It took Rainbow Dash several moments to control her excitement to answer. Yeah, that's me, Rainbow Dash! Thanks for saving me, you know. That thing with the wrecker last week. Was she actually blushing? Big Mac didn't think he ever saw Rainbow Dash blush before.
Oh, indeed. I recall the incident,
Thor said calmly.
Thou should be proud. The wrecker's speed nearly matched my own. Few mortals would have lasted quite so long against him alone. You have a special gift, a talent for flying few Pegasi possess. Be proud of it. Hold it well and cherish it always. I shall follow your career with great interest.
Let me do ecstatic blue feeling, endlessly chanting, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! In his wake, Thor continued on towards Princess Celestia. Behind the stairs toward her, stopping several steps below her. He bowed his head in low greeting, causing a wave of mutters through the crowd.
Greetings, Princess Celestia and Luna, rulers of all Equestria, goddesses of the sun and moon.
Big Mac made the most of Thor's deep, booming voice, his greeting echoing throughout the room.
I am Thor, Odin's son of Asgard, god of thunder, and I was honored to receive your invitation.
Celestia smiled brightly, tipped her head in response. Her voice was soft, but could be heard in all corners of the room. Greetings, Thor. My sister and I are glad you could come. Luna, for her part, said nothing, and looked vaguely embarrassed and uncomfortable. Big Mac shared her pain. Greeting the princess herself was one thing, but exchanging pleasantries like an equal? If not for Thor's boundless confidence, Big Mac would have thrown away as fast as his godly speed would carry him.
When such a guard pirate showing my honor, how could I refuse?
Big Mac said, thankfully he could keep his tone casual. Thor was not intimidated by royalty.
We have much to discuss.
Of course. Please, come with me. Celestia led the way through a pair of double doors behind her, Big Mac and Luna following right behind. They traveled down a short way before entering what appeared to be a small, uncomfortable study. The room contained several lounging couches, each large enough for an alcorn, arranged in a small circle. As they sat next to each other, while Big Mac sat across them. Now then, the elder princess said, once we were all seated comfortably, there are many things I want to ask you, but I think this is the most important. Who or what is Loki? Big Mac swallowed, and drew bond both what Pinky had told him and what he could glean from Thor's memory.
Loki is an alcorn, like we three. He, like myself, is a citizen of the fallen city of Asgard, home of the gods.
The princesses shared an excited look at this clue to their origins.
He is largely responsible for the fall of Asgard and the death of all of its inhabitants, including we too.
Now the princesses looked troubled, and Celestia in particular looked vaguely sick at the thought of such genocide.
He is a trickster and a master of magic, primarily enchantment and transformation. He is devious and a genius, and I believe he will stop at nothing short of complete domination of Equestria.
Big Mac took a deep breath, surprised to hear even Thor's voice was shaken. When he looked into memories of what Loki had done, his stomach turned unpleasantly, and he felt and shared Thor's anger towards his ancient enemy.
Safely, he is also my foster brother. My father Odin saw fit to take pity upon him as a child and adopt him. But he is no brother to me. What was once harmless, childish pranks has grown to malevolence I had never believed that such a pony could possess. He hates all ponies for having the happiness he never experienced, and me in particular for being a symbol of everything he's never had. He hungers for power, and is ruthless in obtaining it.
And young heavyweight, Celestia asked, what purpose did he serve?
I do not know, Big Mac admitted. The mark on the record's brow was quite distinctive, as was the trap laid within the enchantment. It was most definitely the work of Loki, but for what purpose I cannot define.
Big Mac was vaguely startled as Luna spoke for the first time. How can we be certain what you say is true? Luna asked, her face casually neutral. Gone was the embarrassed young filly who had blushed as he approached. This mare was hard at calculating. The transformation was startling, to say the least. How can we be certain that Loki is truly as evil as you say, and not merely a personal rival? Luna! Celestia admonished, don't be rude to our guest.
No, your sister is correct, Big Mac admitted. In reply, I'll say only this. The spell that nearly took the life of Don Stewart was designed to destroy a pony from the inside out, to destroy the magic from in. Ask thyself, what sort of pony could craft such a spell?
Silence reigned in the room. Princess Celestia was about to reply when there were sounds of a scuffle outside the room. Suddenly, the door flew open, and in burst a very distressed Pinkie Pie, followed by two guards with apologetic look on their faces.
We're affairs, sir, your highness,
one of the guards said, looking embarrassed.
We're here trying to stop her, but...
Pinkie Pie didn't let the guard finish, rang out to Big Mac. Thor, I heard that twitch again! Something's coming, and it's big! Big Mac shot to his feet.
Princesses, we must evacuate the castle immediately,
he said, trying hard not to make it sound like an order. Ordering around the princesses was never a good idea. Thankfully, Celestia and her sister were not keen to enforce protocol at the moment. You know Miss Pie? She asked, somewhat surprised. Luna was already calling for their butler.
Ah! She is the one who warned me of the record's arrival,
Big Mac confirmed, looking anxious.
She can detect when Loki begins to act, and I trust her intuition.
Celestia nodded, apparently content to trust one of the elements of harmony. So he turned to proper etiquette, who arrived just in the doorway. Inform every pony attending the party that we will be ending due early to the emergency. Apologize profusely, but ensure they leave the castle quickly. At once, your majesty. Etiquette replied, fancying a speed only a true butler could attain. Big Mac turned to Pinky.
Y'all know where?
The front hall. Hurry! Thor and the princesses burst into the front hall, just in time to see a bright spear of green magic materialize in its center. There was a bright flash, and suddenly there was a blue unicorn filly standing on a raised platform that hadn't been there before. She wore a dark blue hat and cape, with stars dotting the nearly black expanse. What caught Thor's attention the most, however, was the twisting mark of a snake on her forehead, just below her horn. Attention, Catalot! The unicorn spoke. Her voice was majestically enhanced to boom across the room, over the confused and frightening murmurings of the partygoers. I am the great and powerful Trixie, the most powerful unicorn in all of Celestia, the personal apprentice of Loki the Magnificent, rightful ruler of Celestia. I have come here today to claim the throne in his name, and to accept the unconditional surrender of the princesses. We require not only the throne and rulership of all Celestia, but the head of Loki's hated enemy, Thor. Should you not comply, the lives of every pony in Catalot will be forfeit! Celestia stepped forward, Luna and Thor a single step behind her. We will not bow to the threats of cowards and bullies, Celestia said, calmly. Her authority echoing throughout the hall. Her face was one of supreme calm, and only showed when one was angered beyond what one's face expressed. Leave now, and tell your master we will expect his unconditional surrender within the week. Otherwise, we will consider him and you enemies of Equestria. Trixie laughed arrogantly. And Thor felt something was very off. When Trixie had last visited Ponyville, her magical talents had been average at best. But now, he could clearly feel Loki's magic rolling off of her in waves of malevolent intent. A glance around the room told him that many unicorns in attendance felt it as well, including Twilight Sparkle. Thor had to hide a relieved smile when he saw Twilight quickly evacuate several ponies, including Applejack and Pinkie Pie. He redirected his attention to Trixie as the unicorn spoke again. You foes are not but dim shadows of my master's Loki's power. Surrender now, and I may have mercy. Her horn lit up with a sickly green glow. And no promises, though. Much to Thor's surprise, Celestia spread her wings and leapt at Trixie, her own horn glowing with golden radiance. Clearly, she didn't take well to threats against her subjects. Trixie smirked, and an oddly familiar spell formed around her horn before launching at the Serentine princess. A bolt of twisting green energy. With a sickening thing in his stomach, Thor cried a warning, Princess! Look out! He leapt to the air to protect her, but it was too late. The insidious spell that nearly killed Twilight Sparkle a week ago struck the princess square on her horn, knocking her backwards into the wall. She collapsed to the ground with a sickening thud, her horn glowing a dull green. She did not get up. Sister! Luna cried, rushing to the elder princess's side. Celestia could only groan in response, her rainbow mane ceasing its flowing, dimming to a dull pink as it fell messily tendrils around her. Looks could kill. Thor's glare would smear Trixie across the floor, though he was quite prepared to use his hammer for that purpose instead. You monster! He growled. Thou shalt die 1,000 deaths for daring use such a wicked spell against another pony, and 1,000 more for having the arrogance to harm our monk! His own mane began to glow with electric power, beginning to drift like a golden storm cloud. Trixie laughed again, her horn glowing again. Sorry, but the great and powerful Trixie has business elsewhere. Oh, but don't think Trixie is leaving you all alone. She has brought one of her master's closest friends to play with you. Thor, losing all patience, lunged at Trixie, but it was too late. Ta-ta! She called, as she fanned a gaze of green. The hall was deathly quiet, as many ponies who had yet to evacuate looked around in shock, confusion, and fear. Now what? All too soon, however, the silence was replaced with a low rumbling that steadily grew louder. The floor in the center of the hall began to crack, and ponies near that section began to panic and run for the exit. What seemed to be a green spine poked through the floor, then pushed upwards, revealing a head, a neck, then the body of a fully grown, dark green dragon. Its arms punched through the floor as it forced its way upward, climbing laboriously out of the hole it made. It roared, so loud that the ceiling began to crumble. Its roars found its way into the mind of every pony for 20 miles, broadcast with a telepathic intensity so forceful It was almost painful. I am the first and last of all dragons. I was here when Celestia was born, and I will be here to see it die. I am the greatest of all creatures to walk this world, and I am coming at the behest of my greatest ally, Loki of Asgard. My name is Fing Fang Foam, and I bring you destruction. Celestia moaned fitfully, her hose kicking feebly. Luna knelt by her side, horn glowing as he tried to ascertain the damage. Celestia's formidable magic was eaten away by the cruel spell Trixie had attacked her with. Luna's sister was dying from the inside out, her soul eaten away by malevolent magic. Thor tried to turn to Luna, her face grim.
Tend to your sister! I will fell this beast!
He opened his wings to take off. Thor! You cannot defeat him alone! Luna cried, trying to follow him. Let me help! I am an alcohol too! You needn't fear for me!
You are not at the height of your power,
Thor replied. His hose left the ground with a powerful beat of his wings.
Or your sister needs your help more than I do. Stay higher!
Luna could protest. Thor rocketed toward the towering dragon.
Fang Fang Foam!
Thor bellowed. The dragon turned its attention from the crowd of ponies it was terrorizing.
Face me!
There was a telepathic equivalent of a chuckle as Doom laughed. The false god Tellus is the first son of flame. What do you hope to accomplish, pretender? Do you intend to smite me with the stolen power of a warrior long dead? He lazily swung a clawed hand at the charging Thor, knocking him into a wall. Do you think a bold might can stand against the one who strode across the surface of Celestia long before the first Asgardian, owning the Allfire, came into existence? Thor extracted himself from the rumble, growling the dragon.
Your talk of age and strength frightens me not, monster! I am son of Odin, Lord of Thunder!
You are nothing! Bellowed the voice in Thor's head, loud enough to make him wince. I can see within your mind, false god. You are nothing but a peasant, a farm pony with delusions of heroism and godhood. The dragon's mouth opened wide. It breathed a streak of flame at Thor. Thor raised Mjolnir, the enchanted hammer protecting him, drinking into the dragon's flame. Hear me, pretender of Asgard. You will not survive this day. The stream of flame stopped as Thor glared up at the dragon, Mjolnir glowing red-hot in his hoofs.
Then let us enter foul hell together, monster!
Thor swept his hammer forward, cords binding it to his hoof, loosening in response to his mental command. With a roar, Thor flung the hammer, still glowing from the power it drank in from the flames, at the brow of Fang Fang Foom. The hammer struck between the mighty lizard's eyes, with a sound of a crash of thunder. The power of Thum's own fire was loosed upon him, and a massive explosion of flame staggering the beast backwards into the front hall of the hall. There was a great shattering of rock. Thor had little time to pray to the partygoers had not been beneath as he caught the returning Mjolnir, and chased Foom into the castle courtyard. The hammer retied itself to his hoof loosely, as if sensing his urgency. Doom rated himself as Thor approached. You are strong, false god, but you still use the strength of others! He lunged at Thor, mighty jaws snapping at him. Thor rolled out of the way, only being struck by the beast's claws again, driving him to the ground. A crater formed as Thor hit the earth, with Thor's mighty paw landing on top of him, caused bit to his armor, tearing it away. You are nothing, pretender! You are weak! Thor seized the fallen god and flung him back toward the castle, where he impacted with a meaty thud. Thor collapsed to the ground, panting heavily. The massive dragon flapped its wings, flying slowly toward him. His voice grew louder in his head, pounding in his mind like a hammer. Surrender now, false god! Give Mjolnir to me and you may live! The citizens of Catalan may live! Surrender the identity of Thor and become Makato's apple once again! Foom's enormous red eyes burnt into Thor's mind like cinders. It is not a burden you ask to bear! It is not a burden you wish to carry! It is not your fight! Surrender, and you can return peacefully to your farm! Thor wanted to ignore the beast, but Big Mac paused. The offer was tempting. He didn't want to be Thor. Mjolnir and its power terrified him. He just wanted to be Big Mac, the friendly, simple farm pony from Sweet Apple Acres. He wanted to trade jives with his sister Applejack, and see his other sister Applebloom earn a cutie mark. He wanted to watch after Granny Smith, and go to Pinkie Pie's parties. He just wanted to go home. Don't listen to him! Big Mac's head went to the side to see Pinkie standing on top of a piece of rubble, looking distraught. Don't forget why you started fighting! You had to protect Mjolnir! You had to protect every pony from Loki and minions like him! You had to get up, Thor! Thor remembered the face of Rainbow Dash, excited to meet her hero. He remembered Celestia greeting him warmly, as an equal, overjoyed to meet another of her kind. He remembered how he protected Twilight from the deadly green spell. He remembered his conversation with Pinkie over a little week ago.
What will happen if Loki got Mjolnir?
I don't know, but he won't be good. His idea of a prank is ponies getting hurt and fighting and even dying. That kind of pony shouldn't have that kind of power.
Thor stood.
You shall now tap me, monster!
He turned to Pinkie.
Thank you, my friend, for remembering why I'm here. Now flee, quickly!
Pinkie smiled tearfully out and vanished behind the rock she stood on. Thor turned his attention to Fin Fang Foom.
I reject your offer, first son of flame. I may have been born under another name, but here and now, I am Thor, Odin's son! I am the Lord of the skies, the King of storms, the God of thunder and lightning!
He rose to the air, skies above crowding with dark, thundery storm clouds.
And you shall not cow the son of Odin!
The winds twisted around Thuum, whipping themselves into a mighty hurricane at the behest of their master. Foom roared from within the tunnel of the mighty wind, his mighty wings beating powerfully as he broke through the wall of air.
So be it, pretender!
He bellowed the monster.
If you wish to be an Asgardian, you can follow them into Helheim!
Thor charged the beast, swinging Mjolnir on a mighty arc. He caught the beast on the side of the head. The monster's neck was as fast as a snake, and his teeth clenched around Thor's right hind leg. Fin Fang Foom whipped his head about like a cat playing with his food, cracking Thor's leg before flinging him away. Thor hit the ground with a heavy thud. It felt a massive weight on his chest as Thuum landed on him, pinning him down.
You are a fool, Macintosh Apple! You should have accepted my offer!
The metal ground resonated in Thor's head painfully as Foom's head lowered, his mouth opened wide. Thor could see a flame building in the back of Foom's throat. With his hose penned, he could not raise Mjolnir in defense.
Once you are dead, I will burn away all you care about as punishment for your idiocy! I will believe I start with your home, sweet apple acres, and your sisters will be the first to burn.
No.
The flame came surging up from Foom's throat.
No. I cannot own my face.
You could see the fireball forming in Foom's throat mouth.
No, Applejack. No, Apple Bloom. Not my family, please.
The fireball was passing by Foom's teeth on a collision course with Thor's unprotected by.
Please, Celestia. Odin. Annie Pony. Please save my family. Please, Thor. Save him!
Thingmak gave himself over to Thor and felt a hot rage like nothing he had ever experienced flood into his body. It burned on his chest, filled his host with strength, and caused his fist to turn red. A mighty roar ripped itself from his lungs, and the words forming on their own accord into a mighty battle cry.
I'll say they die!
A mighty lightning bolt, shaped like an alicorn, ripped itself from the ground, blasting Foom off his feet. The fireball went wild, shooting off into the night sky. The thunderbolt resolved back into Thor, but it was not the same Thor. His aura was returned. His cape, ripped and straightened for the battle, was restored. His eyes burned with a golden radiance, and his mane was flowing, rising mass of living lightning. Foom righted himself and leapt at the glowing alicorn, but Thor knocked the beast away with a lazy swing of Mjolnir.
You son of left my family alone, Foom!
The thunderous voice echoed all across Canterlot.
You should not have threatened them! Now you will witness the true strength of Thor, God of storms!
You do not threaten me, pretender god!
Foom's voice hissed. He leapt to the air at Thor for again.
Then thou art a fool!
Thor rumbled, raising his hammer.
Now, foul beast!
Mjolnir laid a mighty blow against Foom's skull, but Foom recovered and continued to fly, attempting to bite Thor in half.
On the name of Asgard, fall!
Mjolnir struck again with a ringing that sounded like striking steel.
In the name of Princess Celestia, fall!
Again, Mjolnir struck. A crack appeared in the armor-like hide of Fin Fang Foom.
In the name of Odin the Allfather, I command thee, fall!
A final blow, and the first dragon's armor scales finally gave away, cracking apart as the hammer crushed the skull of the mighty beast. The corpse of Fin Fang Foom crashed to the ground and immediately shattered like pottery. Silence reigned. Thor breathed. His mane returned to normal, and he gently floated to the ground. All was still. Then Luna's voice rang out. Thor! Something is happening with my sister! Thor stunned about, quickly flying back to the castle as he cleared the mountain of rubble. He caught sight of a brilliant white glow from the stairs. Celestia floated within a nimbus of power, light streaming from her. At first, Thor thought she had recovered, but a second glance told him otherwise. Her mane returned to its rainbow coloration, but rather than flow gently, it thrashed wildly, like a nest of angry snakes. Her eyes glowed with unfathomable power, and light spilled from her horn like waterfall of magic. The aura of power was so bright it hurt Thor's eyes, but he could just barely make out the shape of Princess Luna standing beside her sister, frantically crying to shield herself from the out-of-control magic. The princess let out a scream, as the light intensified even further, making Thor feel as though he was staring into the heart of the sun itself. He raised his hook to shield its eyes, putting Mjolnir between himself and the princess. That was what protected him. Another scream tore from the princess's throat. Ah! And the night exploded outward from her, a wave of magic expanding outward throughout the ruined castle, through the streets of Camelot, encompassing the city and the land for miles around. Everywhere the light touched, things changed. Even from where Thor stood, he could see the changes as the light faded. Some of the trees in the courtyard, those that had been ruined, had changed to strange shapes. Some were moving of their own accord. But it wasn't just the plants. Some of the ponies had been changed too. Not all of them, just a few. Over there, an earth pony found his coat transformed into an orange hide of rock.
Oh, I can't believe I see out of Petunia!
Over there, a unicorn was rapidly freezing the ground around him. Oh my, what was going on? And looking frantic as he tried to figure out how to make it stop. And there, a Pegasus with light spilling from her wings as he glanced around them nervously. Dagger, is that you, hun? Just what had Celestia done? Sister! Luna's cry refocused his attention on the princesses. The strange mutations of the other ponies could wait until he was certain their monarch had survived. He flew swiftly as his aching wings could carry him, landing beside Luna.
Is he harmed?
Thor asked as he came low closer. Luna gestured to the floor before her. See for thyself, she said quietly. Thor looked. On the landing of the stairs was a pure white filly with a pink mane and a symbol for a cutie mark. She was slightly larger than a normal filly, as he sported both a horn and a pair of wings. Her eyes opened slightly as he gave Thor a smile.
Oh, hey there, handsome,
she croaked.
How do I look?
Apprentice,
Loki agreed as Trixie teleported into the clearing. He smiled at the comely filly as he approached.
Your mission met with your success?
The great and powerful Trixie could do no less, my master,
Trixie said confidently.
Foom fell, I fear, but otherwise all went as you planned.
Loki took the news of Foom's death very casually.
Oh, well, he was a useful pawn. But this late in the game, one less piece on the chessboard hardly matters.
He did not miss Trixie's brief grimace at that statement. Before she mastered her face and concealed it again.
Good. A little worry. Let her continue to be useful to me. What is important is the singularity. It was the author's plan.
Yes, Lord Loki. The stupid mare practically get herself for me. She's grown complacent, I think. She didn't acknowledge a mere unicorn as a threat, she said contemptuously, as if any pony, even a goddess, could stand against Trixie. The soul steel hit her point blank. The singularity initiated shortly after Foom's defeat.
A shame. I hope it would happen in time for new heroes to aid Thor. Oh well, that is why we plan. To catch us when our hopes fail.
He smiled down at his apprentice.
Now that the princesses know me, know us to be a threat, the teams shall be organized to stand against us, and no doubt Thor will lead them.
Loki threw his head back and towards the skies.
Hear me, Thor! Lead your armies to me! I shall crush them for all, for I am Loki, the true heir of Asgard! I shall dash you upon the rocks of Primordia from your cold dying hooves! This I swear, Thor! This I swear!
I have to say, folks, this is probably the hammiest I've ever been in my life. Thor waited quietly outside the infirmary for Princess Luna. Lucky, most of the damage to the castle had been restricted to the front hall and courtyard. This section of the castle was largely intact. Luna finally emerged from the infirmary, looking tired. Thor looked tired.
How is she?
Luna sighed deeply.
She's fine, more than less. The spell hit Trixie with her was designed to kill normal ponies, not unicorns. Her body responded to the attack by producing more magic, overwhelming it with a burst of power. Problem is, it overcompensated, resulting in the explosion we saw.
Ain't her condition?
Thor asked, not sure what you were supposed to call it when your monarch suddenly became a filly. She burnt out most of her magic with that burst. She recovered in time, essentially. It's the same thing that will happen to me after I was saved by the elements of harmony.
but it'll take time. Months at least. Luna looked away. Celestia said that until she's recovered, that I will rule Equestria.
Thor started.
Why? Certainly in awakening, Celestia still herself. Can she not make the decisions of rulership?
Well, how would you feel about taking orders from a filly, one without the power to enforce her rule? Luna pointed out. No pony would follow her in that state. I'm not terribly popular in Equestria, but at least ponies would take me seriously.
Thor thought about this for a moment.
I understand. Whatever support I can lend, you will have it. I give you my word.
Luna smiled at the larger alicorn.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I have something that I need you to do. Follow me.
She led the way down the hall, Thor following her intently.
Tell me, Thor, what do you think of creating 6 ministries and assigning your sister and friends to them?
I think that would be a good idea, but maybe we should be careful about that and have weekly meetings where they can all get together. I just have the strange feeling that if we're not careful, something bad's gonna happen.
What? Like a post-apocalyptic future or something?
Maybe.
Look at these files,
Luna said, spreading out a sheet of paper on the desk between her and Thor. They were in her sister's office, though the golden spun plaque on the desk had already been replaced with a silver one depicting the moon. Somebody clearly was working quickly to try and make the princesses comfortable in her new role. Thor looked down at the reports Luna was trying to show him, and felt a slight tinge of anxiety. Thor only knew how to read Asgardian runes, and while Big Mac needed to know how to read for the running of his farm, he was slow and deliberate reader. Looking at the tiny cramped writings of the report, Thor knew it would take him hours to glean any information from them. Luna picked up on his anxiety. Unrevelably, she grew tired of waiting, because he continued.
My sister's explosion had more effects than simply robbing her of her strength. You likely noticed, many of the ponies who were exposed have begun to develop abilities that are quite frankly extraordinary. Each of these reports details a different pony who has undergone a magical mutation due to exposure. It will appear exposure has about a 30% chance of causing mutation, possibly higher. Some mutations are quite subtle. It is possible that many mutated ponies are slipping out of our nose because their gifts are extremely subtle.
She gestured at the section reports.
We have reports of over 300 mutated ponies here. Oh, that's something you can't a lot. Celestia's explosion also reached several nearby towns, including Ponyville and Manhattan. Reports are still coming in from those cities. Mostly Manhattan for some reason.
Yeah, I know, kind of traditional with that one. Thor looked down at his papers in surprise.
So, what do you intend to do?
Good aside, what can I do? I cannot remove their gifts. I cannot forbid their use. The only thing I can do is make use of it.
She looked at Thor.
This is where you come in.
Thor gave Luna a puzzled look.
What would you have me do?
Luna looked at her lips nervously.
We were attacked today, not by Loki, but his subordinates, and they almost destroyed us. If nothing else, tonight's attack has shown that we are not prepared to fight with Loki.
She tapped the reports with a hoof.
I intend to use these gifted ponies to fix that. I intend to search these mutants, I suppose, for the most gifted, most courageous, most loyal, and I will organize them into a team. We'll fight against Loki and protect Equestria from all extra-normal threats.
Thor was beginning to understand.
And you wish me to join this team?
No, Luna replied, surprising Thor. I don't want you to just join. I want you to lead the team. Big Mac blinked.
Me? Lead?
He was momentarily stunned. Thor had no problems with such responsibilities. He had not commanded the armies of Asgard against his many foes. But Big Mac was hesitant.
Why am I? Surely there is some power else.
No, there is not, Luna said heavily. Thor, there's not been a serious conflict in all Equestria since my altercation with my sister 1,000 years ago. No pony alive today has any knowledge of the battle save for my sister and myself, and you. She looked Big Mac in the eye. I, sister, cannot fight in her cursed state. I must keep Equestria together, keep the country running. You are the only other pony in all Equestria who can fight, and train others who can do so. They will listen to you. Being an alicorn will grant you all the respect you need. Please, Thor, this team will need you. Lead them. Protect Equestria. Big Mac was silent for a time.
I will need to consider.
He left before Luna could respond.
I can't lead the team, Planky.
As Thor, Big Mac had managed to secure a private chamber for himself, and almost immediately, Pinky had appeared from under his bed, claiming her Pinky sense had alerted that some point needed to talk to me real bad.
Why not, Pat?
Pinky said from her comfort spot on the bed. She must have candy from a bowl she pulled from her mane. Big Mac didn't bother questioning it.
It sounds like it'd be super duper fun. It'd be like something out of Spice comic books. Ooh, you can come up with cool code names and matching outfits and communicators in a private file set and
Boy guy!
Big Mac laid a gentle hoof on his friend's shoulder as he stopped.
If I led the team, I had to stay here at Canterlot. What am I going to tell my family? Y'all know I can't lie to Applejack, and I doubt even if you can come up with like a convincing excuse for me to stay in Canterlot for weeks, months, forever. I don't even know.
He began pacing the small room anxiously.
Besides, I just can't abandon them like that. They need me on the farm. Gran's too old and Apple Blue's too young, and Applejack can't do it alone.
can't she just hire some help? Pinky asked curiously. I mean, that's what the cakes do whenever I throw a super duper extra huge party and need a lot of pastries and cakes and stuff all at once. This is a really good baker, actually. She makes the best muffins ever!
I guess. I know Carrot Top and her family are always willing to help out,
Ding Mac mused.
but what am I going to tell Applejack? She's not just going to let me walk out on her, and I owe it to her to tell her something.
It scuffed a hoof on the carpet.
I'm not even sure why I should at all. I just can't walk out on my responsibility like that.
Glad were moaning laid on a nearby table. This ticket cost him so much trouble. Pinky looked to be deep in thought.
I don't know. I'm not too good with all this heavy thinking, you know. Normally, when there's a problem, I just start it out with a party. But I don't think even a party would stop a big meeting like Lucky.
She looked frustrated for a moment.
But I think you have another bigger responsibility. To protect everybody, I mean. There has to be a reason Monier tells you, right? I think it's because you know you never give up on it.
Big Mac mused on Pinky's words for several moments, not looking at her. Maybe you're right, Pinky. You're pretty smart for such a crazy pony. Y'all know that? Pinky giggled. And Applejack?
Tell her the truth, Piggy suggested. I mean, she kind of deserves it, doesn't you think? I mean, I know you wanted to keep it a secret, but, well, you don't have to tell anybody else. Applejack trusts you. If you keep hiding Thor from her, then eventually she'll find out on her own, and then you'll lose her trust. And losing a friend's trust
is the fastest way to lose a friend forever!
Big Mac chatted with her, turning to smile at her.
And that goes double for family, Piggy added firmly. The girls and I aren't leaving until tomorrow because Twilight wants to make sure the princess was okay. You can talk to Applejack right now.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right, Pinky.
Thanks. Big Mac took a deep breath.
You don't think she'd be mad, do you? For not telling her sewer? For leaving her to tend to the farm alone?
Pinky looked out to bed and gave her friend a huge, big, comforting hug.
I think Nels will understand.
Applejack? Can I talk to you?
Applejack turned from the conversation she was having with Fluttershy to see her older brother in the doorway of the room she was sharing with her friends. Big Magatus? What are they saying y'all doing here? Who's answering the phone? Applejack was shocked her brother would abandon his responsibilities like that. Whatever it was, it must really be important.
I'll ask Garrett to keep an eye on it. We really need to talk, AJ.
Big Mac didn't look particularly upset, just determined and very serious. It was a stark contrast to the laid-back attitude Applejack was used to. Alright, Mike. I'll be right back. Fluttershy, alright? Fluttershy smiled and assured her that she didn't mind. Applejack got out to follow her brother from the room. Big Macintosh led down a long hallway into what appeared to be another bedroom. Much to Applejack's surprise, Pinky was laying on a bed munching on candy.
Hi, AJ!
Pinky waved a stinky hoof in front of her cowboy friend. Pinky? Long time license? Her eyes narrowed as she looked at Big Mac, then at Pinky, conclusive flurry in her mind. She suspected for some time, but back to look nervous as he spoke.
Now, before you say anything, Celestia, I just want to say I didn't tell you about any of this before, but I'll think you need to know.
He took a deep breath. I'll say I'm held around there. Applejack interrupted, unable to stop herself. Now, I know I shouldn't be telling y'all who can spend and who you kind of like. Hey, you're 5 years older than me, but I don't think you and Pinky are right for each other. You're all just gonna end up hurt. Big Mac blinked at her, flabbergasted. Pinky's eyes grew to the sides of different plates as he stuffed both hands into her mouth to keep from laughing. What? Applejack demanded finally, after several moments of awkward silence.
We all thought, Pinky and I, we're dating?
Big Mac finally said, astonished. Pinky finally listened and burst into a hysterical giggle, flopping on her back and laughing uncontrollably. It was Applejack's turn to be surprised. Yo, mind your now? She asked. The way you two have been thinking sleeves this past week, almost hanging out together all the time?
Hey, Ollie. Pinky's my first real friend since I went to school.
Big Mac said, smiling slightly. Pinky was getting her giggles back under control and right herself. It only makes sense that I want to spend time with her. Besides, Pinky's been helping me with some issues recently. Stuff I asked you here to talk about, in fact. But we ain't dating.
Pinky was still giggling a bit. She was unable to speak now. If we were really dating, I wouldn't give you a secret, silly. I throw a big party to celebrate. But Megalocopad isn't really my type, though he's really big and strong and also has some really fun things to say. I prefer Phillies anyway.
Also, Sarah, her friend. You do?
Sir,
Don't you know? Big Mac said casually, causing Applejack to boggle further.
anyway, as amazing as that is, I'll still need to talk to you. It's important.
I'm not sure how many revelations I can take. Applejack sat on the bed next to Pinky, her face burning red with embarrassment. Pinky gave her a hug and offered some candy, which Applejack waved away. But I guess if that's important, y'all best get on with it. I've had a really crazy day, and I'd like to get it over with.
Believe me, I know the feeling.
Big Mac replied with a nervous chuckle. They got Applejack's attention. Her brother was never nervous.
Alright, now, how shall I say this? You know all about Thor, right?
Applejack blinked, surprised at where the conversation was going. Well, sure, I have a pound this. I'm not like a big supporter like you, Dash, but he's a good stallion. Saying our flying Spike Town today, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Big Mac took a deep breath and walked over to the table, where he looked at a really old, poorly carved walking stick lay.
You see, there's something you all know about Thor.
He looked over at Pinky, who smiled and nodded her head encouragingly. He picked up the stick and turned to Applejack, holding his hose.
But first, you all gotta promise to try and stay calm. I'll never tell any opponent about this, alright?
Applejack's curiosity was eating at her now. She trusted her brother completely, and she knew she couldn't ask to make such a promise if it wasn't really important. I promise. She took a look from Pinkie Pie's side. Cross my heart, I hope the fast like a cupcake come out. She went through the appropriate hoof motions for her chant. Pinky gave a satisfied smile. Big Mac took a deep breath and nodded.
Alright, here goes. Try not to freak out.
He rapped the stick against the floor. There was a bright light. And Applejack's eyes nearly bulged from her socket. Holy Celestia.
Not quite!
So, all this time, Thor was does to you in disguise? Big Mac asked. Big Mac changed back into his own body, while Nia laid aside carefully. All things considered, Big Mac had taken the news pretty real, passing through the "No bucket way" and the "I can't believe you lied to me" phases very quickly, and now thoroughly enjoying the "My Super Brothers the Superheroes Last Go" phase.
Not exactly a disguise. Oh, I really am Thor when I transform, or near enough. But still me, mostly.
Big Mac explained.
Except sometimes I sort of lose it, and Thor takes over. It's scary, but it works well.
Applejack nodded and turned to Pinky.
Yeah, what? Part goes?
Only a teeny tiny itty bitty bit, Pinky asserted. That's why I'm Earth Pony. I do have a bit more magic than everybody else, and it lets me to do weird stuff sometimes, but that's it. I'm still at my Pinkyless itself.
Applejack shook her head in belief. I'm having trouble taking all those saying. You want to leave, Mike? Applejack turned to her brother. What am I going to do without you? How will I take care of the farm? I'll tell Apple Bloom Gary Smith.
You can tell Bloom and Granny's the truth, if they don't believe you.
Big Mac said with a shrug.
Family deserves to know. No more secrets. As for running the farm, you can hire more workers. We have the money, more or less. Garrett will be happy to help out.
He sighed.
I don't want to leave, AJ, but I gotta. Ponies are counting on me.
Applejack wiped her eyes with a huff, trying to hide the tears that threatened to form. I know. Y'all never could stand to let Pony down. It's your best quality. She hugged her brother tight. You go be a hero back in town, Apple, she said quietly. Well, you be careful. I want my brother back in one place, you hear?
Yup,
Big Mac said, hugging her back.
I'll hear you.
Luna looked up for the mutation reports as some point walked into her office. Celestia's office. She's been spending the last few hours trying to protect the potential members for the new team. But it was a long, grueling task, considering that many of the reports were incomplete. First officers and glances, and the sheer number of them. She smiled when a large blue alicorn entered the office and strode up to the desk.
All set,
said Thor's son. And there then came a day, unlike any other, where Equestria's greatest heroes will unite in order to combat threats that no one hero can hope to defeat. On that day, they will become the Avengers.